Some of the ways to still make money on the internet today, and it doesn't really end. I mean, it's ongoing and it's constant. The more creative you are, the better and the more business I think that you're going to get. Going through the white pages, registering names is a really good thing to do. We took generic names like AAA landscaping, AAA refrigeration. The only reason for that, even though it sounds like a cool name, is to be up near the top of the yellow pages. What I did is I had my person who's in charge of sales of my domain business send out an email and a letter to all the people in the yellow pages all over America that AAA gardening is available for sale. But they were very, very receptive. And for that matter, they want to know what other names we have. We have anything, flowers or bulbs or roses. You have anything else to help drive some traffic in there. You know, having that great name, like 1-800-FLOWERS. So you must take the name and you must take the .net and the .com, always. And my domain names, I'd say 90% of them, I have the matching .com, .net, and the 800 number that matches. Does anybody have any idea how you get listed in Google to be up by the top? Let me tell you how it works. Search engines, okay, work off of things, they use things called spiders. They go out and crawl around the World Wide Web looking for your name, for what you do, anything interesting, things about you, and reports back to Google. Google is my only source of revenue for my domain names. They supply me the links on the top. When someone clicks on a link, Google collects the money from that advertiser, and they pay me my 50%. The more big ticket item, the more they're paying to be up on the top. Just supply and demanding it. So how you do this in Google is you have to have as many relevant things on your web page as possible. And that's behind the scene, and it's something called a meta tag, M-E-T-A-T-A-G. Meta tags are what determine how important you are to the search engines and how far up you're going to go on the top. If May wants to do her jewelry business and design and do a site, she's going to need to work with her meta tags and have jewelry, sterling jewelry, beaded jewelry, all in these meta tags. You can put thousands, hundreds of thousands of words in there. Okay, May's fashion jewelry, May's costume jewelry. The more meta tags in there, the higher the ranking that you're going to do. So what you need to do is to start a blog, preferably multiple blogs. Blog, get as many sites with your name in there with jewelry before it, after it, because all of that gets indexed by the internet. Try to get stories placed on other people's sites. People will do that. It's called link exchanges. Where do you want to advertise on the internet? I mean, this is a very important thing. So we talked about not having heavy graphic interfaces, and where do you think May should advertise her jewelry business? Would you think like Facebook would be a pretty good place for her to advertise? Handmade jewelry by college students, you know? Google is probably a really good thing to go. Okay, you want to look up Google AdSense. This is what Ina was talking about. You pay to get listed on the top. That's how Google makes money. They don't make it from the maps and all the other nonsense. They make it from the links. That's the way they make money. They have a lot of good information on here, how to enhance your website, what words, and then they give you good analytics. Okay, so there's analytics which will show you how much traffic before and afterwards. You want to find out from Google, well, who's visiting my site? How much did I just pay for that? And really analyze the numbers and just go where what's working. You need to analyze your Google statistics and Yahoo to find out where your business is coming from. Most of the big sites, Facebook, Yahoo, Google, MySpace, eBay, all have advertising banners on there on how to advertise and where to advertise. We opened the movie on August 18th. Historically, an interesting time for independent movies because the big blockbusters of the summer are now fading and they're ready to come into something new. It's also traditionally the time where the Oscar-worthy movies come out. The writer and director Neil Berger just fell in love with it, and then he expanded it. He took the elements of the Eisenstein the Illusionist and he made it into this fascinating, unbelievable love story. It's all about the opening weekend. If your movie stinks and bombs the opening weekend, the movie theaters move you out. So that movie must do very well. So what we did is we opened them in a limited audience. 51 theaters we opened it up. That was done by design, and that is called a platform release. Platform release means you open them in a few theaters so that you can do a ton of business in just those few theaters because the word is out. The first weekend was so successful, the movie theaters were begging us to bring the movie in. The movie was targeted to 35 to 49-year-old adults. Not the greatest movie-going audience, but twice in 1 week our stars were on Letterman in front of millions, tens of millions of viewers out there. It costs zero. If you have a great product, a great movie, great cast, willing actors to go on stage and go on these shows to do it, your movie can get on there and you can be very, very successful. I keep telling you that everything is about the math, right? Try to take accounting classes. You need to know numbers. You have to understand how important math is if you're going to be an entrepreneur. This is tremendous. If you can get this on every one of your customers, any business that you end up doing, this is what you want. This is the science. This is why you put up $31 million. Everyone loved the movie. They loved the movie. Because the norm is 25 and then 60. So once that happens, you must put your money where your mouth is. When you find something that works in your business, I don't care what it is, whatever you end up selling, okay, you have to run with it. So here's an example of publicity and press that you do not necessarily want to get because it's really not, it didn't work for Peterman. His clothes were so exclusive and his products so rare that he kept that by being a real mysterious guy behind the scenes. He never granted TV interviews. He never wanted to be public. He wanted his catalog to do all the talking for him. What ended up ruining J. Peterman is that he was featured on the television show Seinfeld. So he became a recurring role on the show and made the catalog so successful that everybody was able to order things from the Peterman catalog. And what happened, it lost its appeal. It lost its appeal to those people who felt they were very special getting a J. Peterman catalog. There's a host of state and city agencies that focus on lending money. So it's not only about banks, and we know that the banks are all in big trouble today, okay? And not only aren't they lending, they're going out of business. Okay, so it's important that you take a look and see where else you can get some funding. These are things that you're going to need to use if you're going to be an entrepreneur. There's various different services and sites that will help you get money, budgets in order, help you put together a business plan. I suggest you take a look at each and every one of them so you see what the different organizations actually do. Okay, business improvement districts are organizations that have local businesses that try to help new businesses come in. It behooves a local business development group to bring in strong retailers or strong businesses, which bring in turn more customers and more people into the area. So it's important that these groups go out and solicit really key vendors. Take a look at the websites of some of these business improvement districts to get a little bit better handle and understanding on what they do. Has anyone here ever been to a business library? Okay, it's a very fascinating, interesting place because it focuses only on business books. Okay, business directories. It has daily Wall Street Journal, New York Times, and it's frequented by business people who want to get facts and figures.